How's it going, guys? What you're going to see today is attrition gameplay in Titanfall with this shotgun here, which is, I find, an absolute blast to play. Attrition, if you're not sure, is basically just a fancy word for team deathmatch now. There's no real differences between, well, at least in the description of what it is versus the gameplay. And the difference there is, though, in Titanfall, of course, is in attrition matches, it's 250 kill points bonuses. And the goal, obviously, is to kill Titans and pilots there, as you saw me kill a pilot. And they all add up toward attrition points. When you kill the pilot, you'll see they're worth, I think, 4 attrition points toward the 250 total. And the biggest aspect here is if you kill these grunts, which are basically CPU controlled, and they're not really a threat to you in any conceivable way unless you're low on health and extraordinarily arrogant walking right up to them and expecting not to get hit. Otherwise, they're basically, you can just massacre through them. And that, I guess, is the negative aspect that a lot of people hate. But I don't seem to mind as much. It isn't really a drawback to me. But I will explain why in a minute. Because the grunts are CPU controlled. Like I said, they're no threat. But my biggest issue is the fact that the ticket or kill server count, since it's 250 and the grunts each count as 1, but since they travel in packs, you can usually get 4 or 5 in each wave just tossing 1 grenade. The count being only at 250 is a bit low to me for the amount of grunts that are in the match. If they raised it to, say, 500, then I'd say you'd get longer gameplays, which would be more interesting. They'd help you level up quickly. And you wouldn't have guys going around getting, say, 40 or 50 grunt kills, contributing, say, 1/5 of the total contribution of kills toward winning a match. If you up that ticket count a bit, then I'd feel it's perfectly balanced. But I know as a gaming community, we're going to be divided on every conceivable aspect man can possibly conceive. So it won't matter. Some people won't like the fact there's grunts in the game at all. To me, I don't care. It's not a big factor. In this match here, I get a pretty decent amount of grunt kills, but I usually end up in, and you'll see if I post several other videos, I can balance it out killing Titans and pilots just as well. So it's not a huge factor to me. As long as you're decent at the game, it's fine. But the shotgun, I'll explain that quickly, is one of the more balanced shotguns I think I've played in an FPS in recent memory. And I'll have to break down the Symptic stats in a separate video if I'm actually going to break it down in the future. But that being said, this one, it's about a one-hit kill inside of, say, 15-meter range. And don't quote me on that, but it's in that approximate range. It's a one-hit kill as long as you're hitting chest and head center mass, which is beautiful. You want that nice power in a shotgun. Because if it's not going to be a one-hit kill in that range or shorter, then, I mean, what's the point of using it at all? Switch to an assault rifle or an SMG, because it would probably do the job much more efficiently and much more quickly, and give the idea of using a shotgun at all, well, pretty much a waste. But that being said, I do find it balanced. Outside of that 15-meter range or so, it's about a 2-hit kill, assuming you can hit, again, center mass. So I find it to be balanced. It's not abused a lot. If you use it in that under 10-meter range in, just like that, in close quarters environments, it's an absolute blast and an extremely fast-paced game to use, because I've enjoyed Titanfall to this point. That being said, as much as I'm probably going to continue to play and post Titanfall videos, I don't feel this game has that 2-year lifespan feel to it to me. Because I've been playing it for the last week or so since it came out, and I have enjoyed it. I've leveled up all sorts of different aspects. I will continue to play it, continue to learn from it, and continue to perfect my play with it. But I don't feel it has that 2 years stand on its own style of play, like, say, a Battlefield 3 would. Because Battlefield 3 I played almost exclusively for 2 years, and I still wasn't tired of it, and I'm still not tired of it. I still play it occasionally. Battlefield 4, I think, absolutely would have that potential as well, but marred with the bugs and hit detection issues and that, I do feel that sometimes it's a love-hate relationship with me with that game. I could play it for hours on end and have a blast, and then turn it on the next day, and in 2 matches I'm so frustrated with the bullshit that it puts me through that I shut it off and take a break for a few days. But that's why Titanfall, to me, will probably be played quite a bit. Because when I get those frustrating days of playing Battlefield 4, I can just shut it off and play Titanfall instead. So it's a nice break, it's a nice balance. But I do feel, I'm not 100% sure if this game to me yet can be that 2-year stand on its own, crush every other game that comes out in fun factor play. But it's a lot of fun. My last closing argument or statement I'd probably say is that I've heard a lot of people relate it to Call of Duty, and of course, considering that the guy that created the Infinity Ward franchise before he got ousted was the creator of the game, it obviously will have Call of Duty impacts. I won't argue against that. But that being said, I will say that calling it a Call of Duty game in its own aspect, I think, is one of the most laughably, hilariously wrong statements a human being can even concoct in their head. It's as much as it does play like it sometimes, it has so many different elements to it that Call of Duty doesn't have. I'm not trying to spark an argument. I'm not raising a point. I don't really care. I don't like arguing with people about video games. It's a gigantic waste of time. But that being said, I do feel anyone calling it exclusively a Call of Duty remake style game just seems really silly to me. But that's how I'd say it. It's got sci-fi elements. It's got the Titans, which play differently. It feels almost like a sort of blend of Call of Duty, Halo, and I guess any other video game that it would have a mech element to it. It's different elements, but it's a lot of fun. If you want to see more, of course, let me know. I'll break down specific guns, specific strategies, like different loadouts, different burn cards, and everything about this game, because I do find it a lot of fun. And I will continue to post certain videos in the future. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you later.